What's going on, guys? I want to talk to you about a strategy in real estate that I'm using to be able to add anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 to my net worth every single month, and something that I think is going to help you guys out quite a bit. If you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, smash the likes on this. I would much appreciate it. Again, we're a small channel. I'm just trying to put out, real talk whenever I can on, how to make money, how to, become successful, how to build the life that you want in any category. And again, support us. I would love to get your guys' support. That would mean the world to me. That being said, let's get right down to this. So again, as a lot of you guys know, I'm big into real estate. My two favorite things to invest in are crypto and real estate. I have a lot of experience with both. I've been doing both of them for about 5 years. And I want to share with you guys one of the things that I'm doing that I'm going to really ramp up and something that is going to help you guys as well. Now, I just want to make this very clear. This is not financial advice. Nowhere here am I telling you what to invest in or what to do. I'm simply sharing the things that I've done in my life and the things that have allowed me to build a little bit of wealth, and I plan on doing a lot more of it throughout the rest of my life, and how you can predictably and consistently add wealth to your balance sheet and your net worth every single month, every single year, consistently, if you do this correctly. Again, not financial advice. I'm just sharing, some of the stuff that I've learned. So that being said, what I'm going to share with you guys is this. There's a strategy in real estate. You guys have probably heard about it. It's like the most popular strategy, but for a reason. It's called the BRRRR strategy, and that's BRRRR, and that stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. I believe that's the correct acronym for it. But long story short, we're going to go through every one of those steps and how I've done this in my life, in my investing career, and how you guys can do this as well. So the very first thing you need to do is you need to consume as much content about real estate as you possibly can. A lot of people think that you can just jump into real estate and hit a home run on your very first deal. And of course that does happen. I made money on my first deal. A lot of people do, but a lot of people lose money on real estate. And you have to understand what you're doing, right? I've got a handful of books that have really helped me out in my life. There's a really good book called The House Hacking Strategy. I'm turning around in my office right now trying to see if I can't find it. Look it up, House Hacking Strategy. Okay, I got it right here. This is by Craig Curelop. This is a really good book. You guys should read that. There's a handful of other books. Subscribe to the BRRRR Pockets podcast. That's a really good podcast that I like. Go listen to all their videos. But long story short, step one, you need to familiarize yourself with real estate. Don't just listen to this video and jump into what I'm going to talk about because this sounds easy. This stuff is very difficult, but it can be consistent and you can make a tremendous amount of money in real estate. And again, this strategy, the BRRRR strategy, is how people, like Trump, Grant Cardone, all these big real estate moguls that you guys know about, this is how they did this, right? So step one, read as much as you can about real estate and specifically the BRRRR strategy. And again, I'm going to cover that in this video. I just want to kind of preface all this with you need to consume as much content as you possibly can. I'm going to try to make more content specifically about real estate on this channel, but it's something that's important, right? If you're going to invest your money, you should make sure you understand what you're doing it in, right? So that being said, step one, learn as much as you possibly can about real estate, YouTube, everything. Dive into it. Okay, step two, what you're going to do, assuming you have some kind of baseline understanding on how real estate works, just the very basics, what you're going to do is you're going to find a property in your market. It doesn't matter what market you live in. I live in Illinois, so particularly Southern Illinois, so I have lots of deals out here. I also invest heavily in St. Louis. That's kind of my market, St. Louis and Southern Illinois. That's where I have all my renovation teams. That's where I have, property managers. I have lenders. I have all kinds of stuff here. I have infrastructure. I'm not investing over in San Francisco or New York or Florida. I don't know those markets, right? So pick one market that you want to invest in, right? And then once you look in that market, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Zillow, right? And you're going to look for deals in your market that need work, right? So you're going to look for a house, ideally. This is what I like to buy. I like to buy single-family houses, right? And I'll buy a single-family house that needs a lot of work done to it, right? And then what I'll do is I'll find a place, ideally, that has a lot of cosmetic issues, right? So, the paint is really shitty inside the house. The floors suck, right? Maybe the HVAC system is busted. That needs to be replaced, right? Sometimes I fix the roof as well, but like you just look for a property that needs work, right? You can clearly tell the properties that need work. I don't really know if I need to explain that a whole lot more, but look for properties that are damaged, that are a little bit ugly, right? That's what you're going to do. And then once you find a property like that, let's just say it's listed at, $50,000. Again, a lot of the deals that I do out here are a lot cheaper because I live in the Midwest and it's not too expensive. If you're doing something in Florida and Miami or, Tampa or anything like that, you're going to be looking at, $300,000-$400,000 is a really good deal, right? So my point is you're going to find a house in this example that needs a lot of work done to it. And what you're going to do is you're going to contact that realtor. And what you can do is you can go on Zillow.com and actually just find the realtor who's hosting that listing directly on that listing. And then once you have that person, you're just going to give them a call and ask them some basic questions about the property. Hey, what are your thoughts? Are there any, structural issues to the property that, don't pop up in the photos? What's the condition of the roof? What's the condition of the HVAC? Is there any plumbing issues? You're going to ask them these basic questions. Just ask ChatGPT, what questions should I ask a realtor to see if it's a good deal, right? And then once you do that, you're just going to take those notes, right? And then once you have those notes, what you're going to do is you're then going to contact what's called a hard money lender, right? And this is what I've done previously. You're going to contact a hard money lender. And what these people do is it's short-term money that they're going to lend out. So they might give you a mortgage note for, let's say, 6 months. That's where that note is valid. And they're going to fund the entire deal minus, let's say, 10 or 20% of your down payment. And they're also going to fund and finance all of your renovation costs. So again, in this example, if I find a $50,000 deal out here in the Midwest, a house that's just busted up and needs all kinds of work, I'm going to talk to this hard money lender and I'm going to share those details that I got from the realtor and also from the listing itself on Zillow. I'm going to share that with that lender and get their thoughts on it, because a lot of the times they're going to help you underwrite these deals and figure out if it's a good deal or a bad one. And they might be able to give you a snap answer on, hey, this is a good one, this is a bad one, this might be a good fit, maybe this won't, right? And that's going to be invaluable context because they're basically going to be your partner in you buying this piece of real estate. And then once that happens, once you talk to them, and if they give you the thumbs up thinking that it could be a good deal for you to invest in, what they're going to do is they're going to get you a pre-approval letter, and then you're going to take that pre-approval letter, and then you're going to present that to the actual realtor, and you're going to submit an offer on the property. Now, again, if it's a $50,000 house in this example, and it needs a lot of work, let's say it needs $50,000 worth of work, I'm going to offer something like $30,000 or something that's way lowballing them so that they can just to see if they'll take it. A lot of the times you'll get them to take a much lower offer. And if you do, you just made a lot of money just right then and there buying a good deal where it's way underpriced, right? And then once you get that offer actually submitted and they accept it, hopefully, let's say they accepted it, instead of $30,000, they accepted it $40,000, right? Now you're under contract for that deal, right? So now you have a $40,000 house that you're buying, and it needs $50,000 worth of rehab, right? So the hard money lender is going to finance and give you a mortgage basically for $90,000, right? And you might only have to put down, $8K or $4K on that listing because it's 5% or 10% of the actual purchase price. Does that make sense? Right? So once you actually get that under contract, you're going to buy the deal and they're going to finance the entire renovation budget, right? So once you actually purchase that deal, and again, I know I'm kind of rambling here, but I just want to give you guys the raw thoughts. Like, this is exactly what I do. This is something I know a bunch of buddies who are doing this super successfully, and this makes you money consistently, right? So once you actually purchase that deal, what you're going to do is you're going to actually fix the property up. Crazy thought, right? So you're going to purchase the deal. You're going to take that $50,000 that you get in renovation budget, and you're going to fix it up. You're going to add new luxury vinyl plank, which is a very inexpensive but durable flooring option. You're going to get that, probably rip out the carpets, do all this different kind of stuff. And again, you can get a construction crew or a handyman to do all this for you. So if you're not, handy like me, I'm not handy at all. But if you're like me, then you can get someone to do this all for you and negotiate a deal with that as well. So you're going to fix the property up, bring it up to speed, paint the walls, do all the different stuff to make it look pretty, right? And then once you have that done, let's say that takes, anywhere from 60 to 90 days. Once you have that done, what you're going to do is then you're going to refinance it. And how you do that is you contact your local banks or any other kind of bank that you want. Most people do refinances. You're going to contact a bank and say, hey, I have a current note on this property for $90,000. I want to refinance it. Oh, and by the way, I just fixed it up. And now instead of this place being worth 40 or 50K, this place is now worth 200K. Again, just as an example, right? And what they're going to do is they're going to give you a, assuming you have the credit and all this different kind of stuff, which we talk about on this channel, you want to make sure you have good credit so that you can refinance and you don't get stuck with a, high interest loan, which is what hard money is. Once you actually have the property fixed up and now it's worth a lot more, that's considered your ARV, which is after repair value, right? And in this example, let's just say your ARV is $200,000, right? So you bought the property, just to recap, you bought the property for $40,000, right? You got $50,000 in additional funding from the hard money lender. So your all-in costs are $90,000, right? Hopefully this is making sense. So your all-in costs are $90,000. And now what you're going to do is you're now going to go and get another loan with a traditional lender like a bank or anything like that, right? And you're going to go get a refinance, a cash out refinance. Just talk to them about that. They'll tell you exactly what it is. They know they do this every single day. And you're going to go to a cash out refinance deal on that property. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get a new loan, again, with a traditional lender. So this is like a 30-year mortgage. This is your normal note, right? And if that is the case, and this property in this example appraises at 200K, what you're going to do is you're going to get about a 75% LTV, and that stands for loan to value ratio. And basically what that means is they're going to give you 75% of what the property is worth. So if it's a $200,000 property, they're going to give you a $150,000 loan on that property, okay? So once you have that $150,000, what you're going to do is then you're going to pay off that $90,000 loan that you got from the hard money lender, right? I hope this is making sense. Again, I know I naturally talk fast, so I'm trying to slow this down a little bit, but I just get super excited about this because this is really like an infinite money glitch if you can get this going. So you get the new mortgage for $150,000, again, in this example, and you currently have a mortgage for a short-term note with a hard money lender for $90K, right? So you're going to subtract $150 minus $90, and that's going to give you a $60,000 difference, right? And that is, it's tax-free because it's a loan, and you get $60,000 back in your pocket, and you also get the equity that's still in the deal because you raised the value of that. So now you have $60K in additional cash that's tax-free, again, because it's not a loan. So you get to keep all of that cash, right? And you also have $50K worth of forced equity because that's 25% of $200K, right? So you have $50K plus $60K. So you just added basically $110,000 to your net worth in one deal, basically. Again, in this example, you're getting $60K worth of liquidity basically for free, and you bought the property with basically none of your own money. So you get all of your own money back. You keep the property. Ideally, the property cash flows still. So let's say the mortgage on that $200,000 note is, let's just say $1,800, and you rent the place for $2,000. Now you're making $200 a month. In this example, again, this is going to vary quite a bit based upon what market you're in. But that's the overall process, right? You're going to get a hard money loan to find a place and purchase a place that needs a lot of work. They're going to give you the money to fix it, right? You're going to fix it up, okay? That's the rehab portion, right? Then once it's all fixed up, you're going to go back to another bank, right? You're not going to go back to the hard money lender. You're going to go to another traditional bank, and you're going to get a cash out refinance loan for the new after repair value. So again, you went from 40K all the way to 200K because you put a lot of money into it and you fixed it up, right? And then you pull all your money back out because you paid off the old loan. And now in this example, you get $60,000 in cash that is not taxable, again, because it's a loan. You don't tax loans in the United States. And then now you can go put that $60,000 into Bitcoin. You can put that $60,000 into another deal, and you can do this over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? It's an infinite money glitch if you can do this correctly, right? And now the main things you need to look out for when you're doing this strategy is you have to make sure that the property appraises for what you think it's going to be. So you have to know an estimated ARV before you even buy the deal, right? You have to do all your numbers beforehand to make sure that you're not going to have any surprises and oh shit moments to where you're not going to be able to get your money back. Does that make sense? So once you do all that, again, you're going to be able to recoup all your initial cash, all your down payment, and you're going to have a cash flowing property, ideally, for basically no money out of your own pocket because you got all your money back. And you also get additional cash for you to go and buy another deal, right? And this is essentially how you people, investors and all kinds of different people that you guys see that are in real estate, this is how they build, 100, 200, 5,000, 10,000 unit portfolios, is because they're doing this. Almost every big investor is doing this, right? It's the BRRRR strategy, BRRRR, right? Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. And again, inside of this video, I don't know if I've mentioned this as well, but after you've fixed it up, you're obviously going to go find a tenant to rent from you. That's super easy to do. I'll probably make another video on this channel talking about that. What I do is I just post, photos of the property once it's fixed up on Facebook Marketplace, and I'll just say, hey, listing this unit, contact me if you're interested in living here, right? And I'll get usually 200-300 inquiries in a matter of weeks around here, at least where I live. And again, this has allowed me to basically add 40 to 50K to my net worth every single month. And it's something that I plan on continuing to do. I haven't been doing it as consistently as I would like to, but it's something that I really want to get more serious about. It's something that has worked really well in my life so far in my investing career. And it's allowed me to, build a decent amount of wealth at a young age and allow me to, dip my toes in the game of real estate and be able to build a small portfolio that I plan on continuing to expand, right? So guys, keep it simple. Find deals that need a lot of work. And again, I'm just, oversimplifying all this. Obviously, there's so much nuance. I can make a, 2 or 3 hour long video on this channel talking about the specifics here. Maybe I will. I don't know. But you're going to find deals that need a lot of work. Find a hard money lender who can lend you the money plus the renovation budget, right? You're going to buy the actual property. You're going to fix the property, renovate it, make it look really pretty. Don't spend too much money on stuff that you don't need to do, right? So you don't need to go get super expensive wood floors. You can just get LVP, which is pretty inexpensive, right? Fix the place up, make it look good, make it to a nice little spot, right? Make it look pretty, right? Appraisers love to see houses that look pretty, that have all kinds of little finishes, and you can add little bushes and different kind of stuff like that to make the value go up quite a bit. That goes a long way, right? And then once you fix the property up, you're going to contact a traditional lender, a traditional bank, who's going to give you a cash out refinance loan. And then you're going to get a loan for the property. And then with that loan, you're going to pay off the old loan and you're going to keep the difference, and you can go invest that money wherever you want. And now you have a cash flowing property, ideally, that you can hold on to for a very long time, that's already had a lot of the big issues fixed, like the HVAC, maybe the roof, whatever it might be. You don't have to repair those things anymore because you already fixed them with the hard money lender's money, if that makes sense. So again, if you can just rinse and repeat this and do, let's just say three of these a year, which I think is super realistic for most people, then you're going to be able to build a tremendous amount of wealth over the course of your life, right? I'm planning on doing this once a month at least, right? It's because again, it really is an infinite money glitch if you can do this and get your money back out in, 4 or 5 months whenever you refinance, right? So keep this in mind, guys. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just showing some of the stuff that I've done in my life that has really helped me out. And it's not easy, but it's fairly simple if you can nail down your math. And again, one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you with this strategy is to use your lenders as much as you possibly can. And what I mean by that is this: when you're talking to your hard money lender about this deal, ask them questions. This is their business, right? They do this every single day. Ask them if they think this will appraise for, whatever after repair value that you think it will appraise for. And again, you guys know your markets. You have to know that. But ask them. They have appraisers on their teams a lot of the times, and they can run these details past that person, and that person will look up the comps in your area and see, okay, hey, that 200K, ARV, that is realistic. Or, hey, no, there's no way it'll appraise for 200K. This can go to 150K max, right? They're going to be your partner in the deal because they want to get their money back, right? And the way they get their money back is by you being able to fix the place up and refinance the deal so you can pay that hard money lender off as soon as possible, right? What you do not want is you do not want to get stuck holding on to a hard money loan for a very long time because, again, they're going to give you a giant interest rate. You're going to be paying a lot of, interest on that. Sometimes they have penalties. Sometimes they'll charge you 1 or 2 points at the very beginning of this, right? So you have to understand this going in, and you have to do it as quickly as you possibly can so you're not paying that expensive, hard money note for very long, right? You want to do this as quick as you possibly can and then refinance it, right? Because if you're able to refinance it, that's where you're able to pay the hard money lender off, and you're also going to be able to get all that cash and more back into your pocket if you execute the deal correctly. So I hope this makes sense, guys. Again, this is like, 10,000 foot overview, excuse me, on the goal here. Because again, there's so much nuance to any different market. All the markets are different. If you're investing in Tennessee, it's going to be completely different versus Texas or, Illinois or St. Louis, whatever it might be. You have to understand your market. And that's why I say that at the very beginning of this video, because it's so important that you understand, what the properties in your area are worth. And again, you guys don't have to be this massive real estate expert to do this. Ask AI, ask ChatGPT, ask Grok. These are all free tools that you can use 24/7 and be able to ask them these questions so that you can get your numbers correct. And that way you're not having any oh shit moments once you actually try to refinance your deal and pull your money back out, right? This is a strategy, again, that people are using every single day all around the world to make tremendous amounts of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And build giant portfolios. I can tell you, they're not buying, they're not using their own money to buy these deals, right? Grant Cardone didn't spend all of his money to go buy all his, real estate properties. He's doing strategies just like this, fixing the property up, forcing appreciation by fixing the properties up and making them a lot more valuable, and then going back to the bank and getting all his money back out and then some, and then paying off the previous notes. That's what these guys do, right? And again, this just turns into a cash cow over the course of your life, because if you hold on to this property, again, in this example, if it's worth $200,000 now, right, what's it going to be worth in 10, 15, 20 years, right? It might be worth $500,000 in 10, 15 years, depending upon the market, right? If it's worth $500,000 in 15 years, right, you can then go get another cash out refinance for, 75%, which is what, 375, I think, is it? Let me see. I'm embarrassed the fact that I don't know this off the top of my head. 0.75 times 500K, yeah, 375, right? So in this example, if it appraises for $500,000 in 15 years or 10 years or whatever it is, if you just hold on to it, you can go get a new loan for 75% of $500,000 and then get a loan for $375,000, right? And then pay off your $200,000 loan that you have right now. And then now you got $175K back in your pocket, right? And people do this over and over and over and over and over again. And that's why they never sell a property like this, because you can just keep on hanging on to it and fixing the value up. And over time, ideally, the property value is going to continue to go up, and you can just keep on scraping more money off the table, every 5, 10, 15 years from something like this, right? I have a duplex down the street from where I live. I bought it for $100K, and I think the place is probably worth about $225K right now. So, I can pull out a lot of money. I'll probably bank close to $90K. What's that? Let me see. 225 times 0.75. And again, 0.75 is like the typical LTV for something like this. Minus 80. I'll be able to pull out about $88,000 from something like this. And after origination and loan fees and all kinds of other stuff and closing costs, I'll probably have maybe $80,000 in my pocket, completely tax-free from that one deal that I bought a long time ago. So again, guys, I hope this gives you some ideas. Again, this is kind of a quick high-level overview on something that I've done that I'm going to continue to do in my life, and something that I know will help you guys make money if you execute this correctly. Again, don't just take my advice. Listen to, Bigger Pockets YouTube channel. That's an excellent podcast. I've listened to them for years. They have all kinds of free resources, all kinds of good stuff. But commit to learning about this stuff, guys. There's so many ways to make money out there if you're just patient and you learn as much as you possibly can and you get into real estate and investing the right way, because you can really multiply your growth and become a millionaire, a multimillionaire, 100-millionaire if you do this long enough. So I love you guys. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. Hopefully this, quick little ramble was, able to give you guys some value. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if this finds you value, then I ask that you guys smash the channel, smash the likes button, and subscribe to the channel. So I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.